How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and today we're going to be talking about NNDM Nano Dimensions. And I know what you're saying, though. Dre, you did a video yesterday on NNDM. What's going on? They are constantly making moves. That is what is going on. They ended up hiring a new president, which we've already covered. But guess what? They're trying to make sure that they're putting themselves in the best position to grow the company and make sure that they can get some solid and merger and acquisition expertise on their team. And they went out and did just that. So I'm going to be doing in this video a technical analysis, and then we're going to go over the recent hire that they made. I definitely like what they have going on, but I'll give you guys my final thoughts afterwards, giving you more details on how I'm feeling about it and why, you know what, NMDM, if you haven't considered, why you should start looking at it even further and doing some more due diligence for yourself. So let's get into those videos. All right, so we're going to be doing a quick technical analysis on NMDM stock. So overall, I ended up finishing the day at $7.93. So it ended up being up 3.26%, which was great to see. We ended up seeing a low of $7.67, and we ended up seeing a high of $8.02. And what I'm going to kind of go over very quickly, this video will not be a long one, just to take an eye and also take a look at the support levels that they can bounce off of. And the reason why you want to know about this, hey, just in case you're looking for getting a lower cost average, or you think about building a new position, but you want to get it even at a better price. All right, so one of the first things that we can notice here, once we get to this $8 level, it does show that this is a previous area of support for NMDM. So when you see that this price of $7.93, this is a steal. I'm also going to be going into more details just in about a minute or so of why this price is a steal. And now what I want to go over now, as far as a pullback, if that's what you're looking for, $7 is definitely an area of support to look out for. If it breaks $7, then we definitely have another support level going back here right at $6.50. I am definitely bullish on NMDM, and what I want to see is it actually staying above the $7.50 area. It did test $7.67 today, but that is no biggie because, like I said, it was able to bounce off that support and make a strong run up and closing at $7.93. Now what I want you guys to take a look at are the indicators. So if you take a look at the 200-day, which you see in yellow, and then you take a look at the 100-day, which you're seeing in kind of like that reddish kind of color, call it maroon. Yeah, there we go, maroon. And we take a look at the 21-day EMA. I use these indicators to tell me, because it does help, especially if you're a medium or long-term investor, to know that you're getting this at a good price. And as you can see, it's definitely below the 200-day, and it's also below the 100-day as well. So what does this mean? This is an opportunity. If you believe in this company, if you have high conviction, then this is a place where you're going to want to be thinking about adding. And why is that? We've already seen this stock hit some previous highs in the past, and the all-time high being here at $17.88 in the past year. And then we also see we have a resistance area right here at $17. So what does this tell us? This stock does have the potential to double. Could this be happening within a year? I could definitely see that. That's part of the reasons why the current price of where it's at right now is definitely a steal. But seeing these areas, like I said, this is a buying opportunity right here. But for it to come back on trend, we definitely need to see it come back to having some full support and some full moves to the upside above the 21-day and as well as the 100-day, and then reach up to the 200-day eventually, which you can see is right here in that $11.33 area. If we take a look at the last time it was actually there, was literally back here in February. So it wasn't that long ago. And when we ended up hitting these highs up here, this was near, yeah, we can call that February the 10th, and this was also here on January the 25th. So I could definitely see NMDM recovering. They've had some great news that has come up. Hasn't been reflected in the stock price as much. We've seen some minimal movement, but hey, this just gives you a longer opportunity to get into a great stock. So we're now on the Nano Dimensions website. We're in their press release section so we can go over the news that they dropped today. I'm so excited. We did a video on them yesterday, and I just love when a company is making some serious moves like NNDM. So here we go. Nano Dimensions appoints Hanan Gino as Chief Product Officer and Head of Strategic of Merger and Acquisitions. So NNDM, an industry-leading additively manufactured printed electronics provider, announced today that the appointment of Hanan Gino as Chief Product Officer and the Head of Strategic Mergers and Acquisitions. For over 30 years, Mr. Gino has been a senior executive leading international technology corporations. As the president of Verint Systems Inc., so VRNT on the NASDAQ, Global Security Intelligence Business, he is responsible for 1,200 employees and grew SI's revenue from $200 million to $400 million annually. As the CEO of Verint Systems Limited, he was also responsible for the acquisition and integration of multiple companies. Prior to joining Verint, he spent 23 years at Orbitech Ltd., a global technology company whose products are used in the consumer and industrial electronics and adjacent industries. From 2006 to 2010, Mr. Gino was the president of the PCB division, the flagship of Orbitech, growing revenue to $250 million annually. This growth journey included the acquisitions of several companies and the launch of the new leading inspection and imaging solutions for the printed circuit board market. From 2010 to 2013, he was the president of the flat panel display division of Orbitech, where he grew their FPD business to $265 million annually, including an acquisition of a technology company in Silicon Valley. Following a key highlight of Mr. Gino's career, diverse experience in different industries, PCB inspection and imaging systems and solutions, data analytics, cyber intelligence, and robotics. Overall responsibility for sales, customer service, marketing, product development, R&D, manufacturing, and merger and acquisitions. 15 years of experience as an executive and officer in the management teams of 560 million and 1.1 billion companies. Extensive experience in integrating acquired companies within different geographies and corporate cultures, and successfully launched 30 new and innovative products in multiple market segments. Mr. Gino commented, "I'm excited to join Nano Dimensions. Nano's technology has the power to revolutionize the global electronics industry while addressing a multi-billion-dollar markets and industries I know well, including communications, aerospace, aviation, medical, automotive, and defense. Our growth strategy will include in-house development of new products and acquisitions of complementary technological companies. Factors that contributed to my decision to join the company are Nano's visionary leadership, highly skilled management team, and of course the incredible technology I expect to be in this pinnacle of my career." Yoav Stern, CEO of Nano Dimensions, stated, "Mr. Gino brings 30 years of global business experience that covers many of the industries we are targeting. During his stellar career, he has been the primary mover in driving product innovation and acquisition strategies while substantially increasing revenue and return on investment at multiple technology companies. His vast experience in different segments of the electronics industry will add important depth to our product development team. He shares our vision to revolutionize the electronics industry with transformative technologies for the development and delivery of Industry 4.0 solutions that use additively manufactured electronics. I'm very pleased to have Hanan on board and look forward to working closely with him." So this is what we want to see from NNDM. They definitely have been knocking it out the park, making sure that they have the right management in place to facilitate their future growth plans. All right, so we're now on investorplace.com. Came across this article that came out today. So after an overdone pullback, it's time to jump on the Nano Dimension stock. NNDM stock is a compelling 3D printing play that has shown it can conserve cash while generating consistent sales. On March 17th, I made a bullish call on Israeli 3D printing firm Nano Dimensions. Of course, the market had to mock me by immediately sending the NNDM stock price lower. Does this mean that I'm abandoning my bright outlook today? Not at all, and I express the same sentiments. I searched long and hard for legitimate reasons why the share price would drop, and I didn't find anything genuinely wrong with Nano Dimensions. If anything, I drop in the NMDM stock price should make it more attractive to bargain hunters. For folks who've been sitting on the sideline with cash, you could be looking at an ideal entry point right now. There's no guarantee that the stock will stage a full recovery yet. If you believe in the company and in the future of 3D printing industry, you might decide that there's a rare opportunity here. A closer look at NNDM stock. As I alluded to earlier, there's been a short-term pullback in NNDM stock. I made a bullish recommendation in mid-March when the share price was around $11, but by April 1st, it had declined to $8.33. There might actually be the potential for a share price doubling here. As recently as February 9th, the stock reached a 52-week high of $17.89. Besides, we should maintain a long-term perspective here. It was just a year ago when NNDM stock was trading at just 65 cents. In other words, this stock is capable of making outsized price moves. Patience is key here, and it's much easier to be patient if you believe that the 3D printing market has room to grow. Anticipating the expansion. I wouldn't go so far as to call an investment in 3D printing fail-safe, yet the data does seem to suggest that the expansion of this particular market segment is inevitable. According to research firm Statista, the global market for 3D printing products and services is expected to exceed $40 billion by the year 2024. Not only that, but it's forecast to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 26.4% between 2020 and 2024. Nano Dimensions collected some data points from various sources on the projected trajectory of the 3D printing industry. The numbers vary, but they all indicate a very strong growth rate. ID Tech's EX. The total 3D printed electronics market will be worth $2.3 billion by 2029. Data M Intelligence. The 3D printed electronics market size is expected to reach $592 million in 2021 and up to $2.4 billion by 2025. Transparency Market Research. The global 3D printed electronics market is expected to expand at a compound annual growth rate of 44.46%. From 2018 to 2026, reaching 3.9 million by the end of the forecast period. Pick a statistic, any statistic, whichever one you choose. There's no denying that Nano Dimensions could be at the ground floor of a highly lucrative market segment. Watch that balance sheet. Even if you're anticipating robust growth in the global 3D printing industry, it's essential to focus on companies with firm capital positions. Thankfully, Nano Dimensions meets that criterion. Not long ago, the company reported $1.97 million in fourth quarter 2020 revenues, as well as $3.3 million in revenues for full year 2020. On top of that, Nano Dimensions CFO Yael Sander offered encouraging insights into the company's fiscal health. We ended 2020 with a strong balance sheet and $671 million in cash and bank deposits, thanks to the equity offerings we concluded during the year, and we have strengthened it even more to balance of a nearly $1.5 million as of the end of February 2021, Sandler stated. Chairman and CEO Yoav Stern said that the war chest and the company's technology makes Nano Dimensions extremely well positioned for growth. His comments accompanied this week's announcement of the hiring of a new company president, Zivi Nadivi, which we covered yesterday. One bit jumped out from the press release. The new president got growth company experience on a global scale. The company has demonstrated its ability to conserve cash while generating consistent revenues. Personally, I'm excited to track the progress in its upcoming fiscal reports through 2021. The bottom line, could NNDM stock get to its February high point? It's certainly possible, though patience will be key for successful investors. And given Nano Dimensions' superior capital position and the share price's turnaround could happen surprisingly soon. So for my final thoughts for NNDM, I just love it. The fact that they have Hanan Gino, who's going to be the chief product officer, and as well as being the head for strategic mergers and acquisitions. This is something to be excited for. He has a great track record, has great expertise, and then we put this on top of the president that they brought in yesterday. Woo! I must say, I just love it. We saw a brief spike in the stock today, but if you're looking at NNDM long-term like myself, this is a great company making large moves. You don't need to see crazy action in the stock price, because that just means as of right now, you're getting it on a deal. Even when we look at all of the indicators, if you believe in NNDM long term, this is an opportunity. Also want to put in the disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. Just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. One of the things that I love about NNDM, it has the KLTs. If you are new to this channel and you haven't heard about that, what it means is you got to be able to know the company, like the company, and trust the company. And as far as for NNDM, they check off all the boxes for me. They look good on the balance sheet. They got a lot of capital, and they're bringing in the right management to make sure that they can further their future growth plans. What more can you really ask for as a shareholder? I'm so proud to see where NNDM and what they've been doing, especially in the current conditions and the environments that we're in. And I can't wait, especially when the economy begins to recover and things go back to normal. Come on. The rest will be history from there. I think many of you were saying inside the comment section, you guys were very bullish. I love that. As far as price targets and what I'm looking at, hey, I was saying it would be great to see us crack that $8 level and be comfortable in that area as far as for today. But you know what? If that happens on Friday, I am good with that. I want to see us get past that $9 level. Like I said, it's a serious psychological level. Once we get past that 9, we'll hit 10 very, very quickly. So as far as for the month of April, what I'm expecting from NNDM is to be at $9. That's right, somewhere above $9 near the ending of this month, even getting closer to $10 preferably. And then going forward before the end of this year, I definitely see it getting it back to its high where it was around $17 to $18. And hey, it'll only go up from there. I definitely do believe, at least from, let's say about in the next 5 years or so, this should be a $100 stock. And who knows, they might even be able to do it sooner, depending on what type of catalyst and what kind of news and what the plans are in regards to what they plan to do with all that cash. Who they're going to be bringing in, because we already know the industry and the sector that they're in is a growing space, and it's only going to get bigger. So that's my final thoughts. I'm excited. NNDM team, let me know inside the comments if you're a shareholder. Peace out.